Hey, what's up, Reefers? This is Reefer Matt, and this is the October update. Here's the 75-gallon SPS tank. This tank's doing pretty good. I just did a couple extra water changes. I was having high nitrate issues, and I got it under control now. Not sure what that was about, but coral didn't miss a beat. I just like to keep them between 10 and 25, so not a huge deal there. As you can see, the coral are growing into each other and doing what they do all over the place, especially there too. There's Jedi Mind Tricks actually coming back. See that? It was all looking like that for a while, but that little bit did come back, so I was happy to see that. Little cardinal fish there is doing good. There's a lemon damsel back there. And these acropora were growing into each other, so I had to trim back this one right here. I'll show you that in a minute from the top view. It was growing into the Disney here. The Disney was starting to perk up for a little bit. I just changed two of these lights. They were going out on me. These are the Kessel A360 series. And the ones on the end are the A360X. And these two in the middle are the new ones, the A360XEs. Yeah, they were going out on me. I lost the blue spectrum. And I didn't want a chance harming the coral any, so I bit the bullet. And I replaced two of them, and that hurt, but gotta do what I gotta do. Keep this tank happy and healthy. And hopefully it won't have any issues. I gotta re-par map this just to make sure that there's no issues with these. Supposedly they have a little higher intensity per watt, so I gotta look. But we'll see. Check this out. Look at that yellow tip. That thing's just popping out like crazy. It's really enjoying that spot where it's at. And so is this one here. I believe that's a stag right there. Yeah, I'm real happy with the way those guys are growing out. And really all the coral are. This stylophora here is growing out pretty good. Fishies are nice and happy too. I just fed them, so they got a little nori down there. Here's my purple tang. Little urchin cleaning the rocks for me. And my clownfish. Yeah, this tank's doing good. As you can see, just a lot of coral growing into each other. And I just trim them just to keep the peace. So up top here, you can see where these acropora were growing into each other. And I had to trim them back. Just to keep the peace. That's something I had to do. It's like coral gardening. And you can see these two are fighting it out right there. And a little cyano growing where the dead spot is. It's completely normal. Doesn't really bother me too much. I just make sure that they're not actively killing each other. And I just fragged this thing too. I rarely frag this coral, this Disney, but somebody really wanted to frag and they talked me into it. So hopefully they still want it. If not, people always seem to want this one. This is just my favorite coral and I hate to frag it, but I'll have one or two small ones at the Ann Arbor frag swap. I'll put the info for that right here. If you guys are interested in going, that's next weekend. And I hope you go so I can see you there if you're in the Michigan area. But yeah, these guys are just all growing into each other and I have to frag as necessary. You can see there's a little coral warfare going on right there and there. So it's a lot of work anymore just to keep everybody happy in this tank. It's not like the little frags anymore where I can just let them go. And this bird's nest here I'm going to have to trim back because what it does to the Disney over here is it'll start growing over it and shading it. It doesn't necessarily sting it, and it'll actually kill off the Disney right there. So I'll give it another month or so, and then I'm going to trim back all that bird's nest there. You guys like my new camera? I got the new iPhone, the iPhone 17 Pro Max, and this thing has a much better camera than my 15 Pro Max. I guess it has a better image sensor. And I am really happy and impressed with it. It is much better quality. So hopefully, I'll be able to capture some better footage for you. Make some better videos. Let me know what you think in the comments. And don't forget to hit that like and hype button too. The new thing with YouTube is the hype button. They kind of changed their algorithm. And it's cool because it's for smaller creators like myself. If you guys swipe over where the comments are in the video. If you swipe over from the like button, you'll see the hype button, and it only lasts for a little while when the video comes out for smaller creators, and that actually helps. It bypasses the algorithm, but just in case you're interested in helping out, that's one way to do it. Check out these acros here. So yeah, I've just been tending to this tank, keeping the peace, turning it back. This guy's next right here. See this chalice? I got this free, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago, and I put it in here and I took it out and a little piece survived, and now it keeps growing back, and I keep fragging it out and it keeps growing back. So technically that's not really what we consider an SPS coral. Usually it's considered an LPS, but I mean, you can see the polyps are small on it, but this coral will sting the crap out of other corals, so I gotta watch it. And there's some stylo. Look at that purple stylo. Woo! Check out those polyps. I'm liking that too. So yeah, I really like SPS coral. But that's the 75-gallon SPS tank. It is doing fantastic. I've just been keeping up on my 2-part dosing, making sure my alkalinity is stable. And I've also been adding some trace elements too, and it does seem to be helping. And here is Puffy and the gang. These guys are doing good. As you can see, I got to clean this tank up a little bit. I want to redo it. So I'm going to redo the rocks. Obviously, I got some algae to clean because it's not getting any shorter. But this tank's probably due for a couple water changes too. I usually change 60 gallons a month on it. This is a 135-gallon fowler. But these guys are doing great. And I'm thinking about putting an eel in here too, but I'm not sure. I might be maxed out as is, especially with Finn in here, the Emperor Angel. He likes to chase other fishies around, but he's not too aggressive with them. He's just like, hey, this is my spot for the moment, and get out of my way, and then they just kind of move, and then now we're all friends again. So it's kind of funny to watch sometimes. I always hear it from across the room, and I know it's him. There's Puffs, my buddy Puffy, showing his chompers to you. There's the Huma Huma Trigger Bandit. Big old lionfish, Leonidas. Brownie, the Fiji foxface, and got a birdfish back there. We'll call him Spike. Somebody mentioned they want to call him Spike, so that's his name, is Spike. That's the 135-gallon fowler tank. Stay tuned for changes on this. I'm going to clean it up a little bit and refresh it a little bit. This tank's about 6.5 years old, so I think it's due for a little refreshment. All right, and here's the SPS frag tank. I would show you the front, but I haven't cleaned the glass. This isn't really a display tank, even though it's got clear sides on it. But the frags in here are doing pretty good. My acros are growing out great. But these guys here, I believe that's a Battle Corals one there. I'm real happy. I've just been doing the same thing as I do in my 75-gallon. Just been keeping the alkalinity stable and adding some trace elements. I had that K elements from Tropic Marin, and that seems to help, the K+. And I took my urchin out of here a while ago. You can see the frags are starting to get a little dirty. That's because the nitrates are usually higher in this tank. And my cleanup crew dwindled on me, so the back glass is covered in algae, and the frag plugs are starting to, because I took the urchin out of here that I had a while ago because he started, of course, picking up frags and moving them around. But they do such a great job cleaning up, so that's why I like to keep them in here when they're small. So I found another smaller one that I had, and I put them back in here, and hopefully he'll clean everything up for me. But everything just grows so quick in here that I really don't have time to find new homes for it, because a lot of people in my area don't like SPS coral, and I don't ship. So I just got to do the same thing I do with the 75, make sure I keep the peace, everybody's separated. And every once in a while, I'll cut off frags like this big one over here. That guy used to be just a little frag, and it grew up. Same thing with this Jedi Mind Trick back there. That thing's the size of my hand. But yeah, they just keep growing, and that's cool. And there's Nemo Jr. in his elegance coral. He says hi. I don't think I'll ever take that either. I just like it. Look at that. It makes like a nice picture and everything. So it's like, how can you take his home away, right? He's so happy in there, so I just leave it in there for him. And there's some other Montipora back there. I'll be bringing a lot of these chunks of Monty Cap with me. I do like $10 on those at the show. I just share them as I frag them out. But yeah, this tank's doing good too. I just gotta get my cleanup crew beefed up again and have it knock that algae down for me. Look at those colors. Woo! I'm liking that. I'm liking that a lot. All right, and here is the majority softy frag tank, even though I do have some SPS colonies in here. But these toadstools are finally perked up and they're attached. So I'll be bringing those with me to Ann Arbor. And you can see where I cut it. It's actually growing back too, which is cool. And I'll let that heal up for at least 6 months until it's round again. It might take a little longer than that. But I just take little cuts every once in a while, and they all don't make it. Sometimes they get an infection. That's what happened here. I lost about half of them, but these guys came out really good. Yeah, sometimes it just don't work out on little frags, and sometimes it does. And I also have a bunch of this over here to this Neptia. And then these shrooms are doing good. Got them each in their own little basket, and there's a little disc at the bottom that they're attached to. And the rest of these I'm going to clean up off the rack and maybe put on frag plugs and trade them in or something, or see if anybody wants them at a show. But I got to clean up these racks. And then I'm going to figure out what I'm going to do with this whole tank. Because I was thinking this corner here, let me back up. I was thinking of taking this tank down and someday putting a different tank here, like a display tank. Maybe like my dream tank or something, but that is definitely not something that's on the budget for now. So maybe someday I'll work towards that. But the coral in here are doing really good, and they're growing into each other. As you can see, I got a lot of cleanup to do, and I'm hoping I can rehome a lot of these. All right, here's a top view of the other frag tank. It has mostly LPS in here. And yesterday I did clean up my Zoa rack here, and I made a whole bunch, well, I'll call them residual frags. See, those are what were growing on the rack. So I just went ahead and made little frags out of them, and I'll let them grow out. Maybe I'll bring a couple of them with me. The bigger ones I'll bring to Ann Arbor. I don't like to bring them if there's only a couple polyps on them. Some of those are okay to bring, I think. They got 6 or 7, so maybe I'll offer a few of those too. But yeah, those are just kind of residual frags, as I call them, because they were growing on this frag rack over here, and I cleaned that up. And some of these guys still aren't happy yet. This one's got an aptasia in it right there that I got to nail. That's my biggest pet peeve, is aptasia. You see that guy? He's going to be nailed here very soon, so say goodbye to him. And it's not their fault. They are animals too, but they are pests, and they sting coral, and I like coral better. But I make sure that my frags do not have them in them. Like I said, that is my pet peeve, is having pests on frags. And things happen, but we take care of it. These guys are doing good. And next that I got a frag are these star polyps. Look at those. Look at those. Would you look at that? That was funny. I didn't know that was a thing when I made that little short. If you guys watched that short. It was an actual thing from another YouTuber. Look at this elegance coral. I'll be bringing this with me to Ann Arbor. And this thing is, I want to say it's 6 inches across the one way and about 5 the other. Opened up. So yeah, this thing is beautiful and healthy, and it is looking for a nice tank to go in to be a showpiece. So that'll be in Ann Arbor too. Along with some of these. Got some algae. Look at that. See, I'll let you guys see everything. It's not just all for show and oh, look at how awesome it is. I show you the things we got to take care of. That's just hair algae there. And what I do is I just take the coral off the rack. I put them in a container of water, and I take the rack under my utility sink and I brush it off with a toothbrush. And when it comes back, I redo it. And I make sure that it's not on the frags either. This guy right here got stung by this chalice over here. That's why he's not doing so good, because it was right there, and that chalice stung half of it and killed half of it, and then of course the algae grew on it. So I put it over there for now, but I'm going to have to refrag all the healthy tissue and get rid of the rest. There's some more coral looking nice. This guy is huge. This is like a full tile, a full square tile, and some kind of fabia, but it has long sweepers too. So that's why there's some room around it there. There's some cool tongue coral. I'll be doing these cheap at the show. I've had these guys for at least a year now. They're doing really good. They're very healthy, and they're a different coral to have. They're just you know, if you're looking for something a little unique that you can't find everywhere, those are the kind of coral that you want. And they're easy to take care of too. There's some acans. I haven't fragged that yet. Someday I will. There's some more acans. Actually, those are called micromuses now. These are acan. These are acan bowerbankies. There's some more acans there. And we got some candy cane coral. Nice, big, and fluffy. I got to make some frags of this yet, and I'll be doing that soon. Those are nice and fluffy. But this tank is doing really good. And it gets dosed off a reef. And then I just make sure I do my water changes. All right, and here is my freshwater tank. It's a little 2-gallon. I've let it cycle for at least a month now. As you can see, it's got all kinds of gook in it. Today I added a couple snails, which are still not out yet. There's one right there. The other one is in that cave right there. So hopefully they'll help clean up the glass in that. And I'll be adding shrimp to this very soon. I may just do a quick clean on the glass because I know it's going to grow back. But I'm just happy to see that it's finally cycled. And it's established and ready for some little critters. So stay tuned for that. Look at that. I still like that. Look at that. It's got like a little weird surface skimming. That is the neatest thing. That's a neat little filter. Yeah, I like this little tank. Even though it's a freshwater. I got a little excited for a while thinking I was going to get more freshwater tanks. We'll see, but this one might hold me over on that. Alright guys, well that'll do it for this video. I'm Reefer Matt. Thank you for watching, and happy reefing.